And this is the astrological forecast for the sign of Cancer for the whole of 2022. So let's deal with the facts first and then we'll look at the analysis. Firstly, the new moon in Cancer will be on the 29th of June. Now, that new moon is going to be pretty much exactly square Jupiter, or at least less than half a degree away from exactly squaring Jupiter. So those of you born around the 29th of June, 29th, 30th of June, need to be a little bit cautious around that time that you don't overspend, overstretch, overreach or overindulge. There will be an element of this available if you wish. So caution here. The full moon in Cancer this year will be on the 17th of January. This will be taking place opposite Pluto, of which more in a moment. The Sun will enter Cancer. The Northern Hemisphere summer solstice will be on the 21st of June and it will leave on the 22nd of July. Mercury will move into Cancer from the 5th to the 19th of July, and Venus will be in Cancer from the 18th of July until the 11th of August. Mars is not going to be impacting significantly on Cancer, not in terms of conjunction anyway, although a number of you will be, well, all of you will be affected by Mars's journey through Capricorn, which will be taking place over the period of the last week of January through to the first week of March. But that shouldn't be too much of a problem, with the possible exception around both the Cancer full moon on the 17th of January and especially the transit of Mars to Pluto over the last couple of days of February and the first 2 or 3 days of March. That will be a bit of a stinker for the world, but especially for some of you, especially those of you born incidentally around the 18th, 19th of July, of which more in a moment. I'm delighted to say that Saturn is not going to be touching Cancer in any significant shape or form, hardly at all, over the coming year. The big challenge, I suppose, is going to be Pluto. Over 2022, Pluto is going to be opposite the Sun of those Cancerians born from the 18th to the 21st of July. Now, there's no easy way to say this. This is one of the most difficult aspects in astrology. And as a Cancerian, I've been through this. I know what it's like. It's death and rebirth. It's psychological intensity, borderline obsessive compulsive behaviour, whether it's from you or towards you. It can bring intensity and extremes and even crises and trauma. There will be a number of endings. You can see those endings as permanent and final, or you can see them as transitory, as in the old needs to be cleared so that the new can come in without negotiating old baggage. There will also be an element over the whole year of purging, cleansing, purifying, detoxing, eliminating. But this will lead to an energy of transformation, regeneration and rebirth. This will be at its strongest over the first 9 weeks of the year, but this will continue until the end of the year in the background. And if you're one of these Cancerians born on the 18th to the 21st of July, then yes, this is not going to be an easy year. It could easily be the making of you. It could easily also be the destruction of you if you insist on staying the same as you've always been. Jupiter is going to be spending the first 4 months of the year trining Cancer, and that's absolutely lovely. And a few of you, those of you born at the very, very end of Cancer, like the 22nd, 23rd of July, have I got this right? 21st, 22nd of July, yeah. You're going to find that the majority of this year seems to have a number of opportunities, particularly incidentally from late April, early May through to late December, for growth and self-development. That's rather nice. The first 4 months of this year seem to hold a number of opportunities for personal growth, self-development and a degree of fortune. Now this is only kind of 5%, but it's going to be enough to be seen and visible. Neptune is definitely working with those of you born initially on the 13th and 14th of July. This last year's seen a big change in the way you use your intuition and your imagination. and it's led you to trust your inner senses a lot more, and this is going to become more consolidated and permanent as you get into January and February. And then those of you born on the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, actually I've got that wrong, those of you born around the 15th, 16th, 17th of July, you're going to find that from March onwards, this year is actually a very good year for you in terms of more aesthetic, artistic, esoteric stimulus. Your inner senses are going to be a lot more reliable. Your dreams, your imagination, your creative output, your spiritual sides, if you like, are going to become a lot more potentially developed if you choose to allow them to happen. Uranus is definitely working well with you. Those of you born around the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th of July have seen the big changes that have been going on in this last year. And these are about to become more consolidated and permanently established as you get into the first 2, 3, 4 months of this year. And after this, as you get into May onwards, Uranus is really going to be smiling on those of you born around the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th of July. There's going to be a lot of windows of opportunity for fresh starts and new beginnings, to upgrade your aspirations and to do things that in the past you would never have thought that you were capable of doing. So I actually view this as quite a positive time. Now there are going to be 1 or 2 times of real challenge here. Initially, I'm looking at the full moon in Cancer on the 17th of January. If there's any old ghosts from the past, if there's anything in you or around you, in the people around you, that's been hidden and suppressed, it's all going to come up in the middle of January. And I do expect a number of revelations which may not be that easy to deal with around the 17th of January. And then again, I'm looking at the time when Mars is opposite Pluto, particularly impacting on the lives of you born around the 18th to the 21st of July. You're going to get hammered also at the end of March. If you're born towards the end of Cancer, this is not going to be the easiest of years. But what don't kill you makes you stronger, and I know because I've been through this myself. And you'll come out of this more psychologically invulnerable, mature and stable than you've ever felt in your life, regardless of your age. So feel the fear and do it anyway. For most of you, it's actually quite a positive year. It's only really those of you born from about, say, the 18th onwards who are going to be getting hammered. Just be careful around mid-January and late February, early March, and that's for all of you. But for the majority of you, yeah, it's a good year. Now, thank you to all those people who have helped me, 1 or 2 in particular. You know who you are. It is those little donations that keep me able to pumping out my stuff free of charge. I will continue to do so. Thank you for your ongoing support.